Good morning, everyone. My name is Valero-IBAñez, Head of Internationalization at the International Technical Cooperation Office of UNED, National University of Distance Education from Spain. Today, we are going to talk about international mobility within the framework of the PRODIGE project, a fundamental tool for developing global and intercultural competencies in today's educational environment. International mobility has ceased to be an academic luxury and has become a strategic engine for global transformation. In an increasingly interconnected world, these programs represent the definitive bridge between theoretical knowledge and intercultural practice. Mobility programs are not just about the geographical displacement of students and faculty, they are tools for public diplomacy and personal growth. Their importance lies in the ability to break down language barriers, cultural walls, and prejudices, fostering a global mindset essential for the 21st century. The participation of distance learning universities in international mobility programs, such as Erasmus+ or others, is not just an option, but a strategic necessity to guarantee equity and educational quality. Global impact of international mobility. The impact on university institutions. For universities, mobility is a key indicator of quality and prestige. The impact is manifested in the following areas: internationalization of the curriculum, with the arrival of foreign students and the return of local students who, with these new perspectives, enrich academic debate in the classroom. Research collaboration, facilitating the creation of knowledge networks and international consortia for complex scientific projects. Global positioning, a university with high mobility improves in international rankings and attracts more talent and funding. The impact on society. The benefits of these programs transcend campus walls and infiltrate the social and economic fabric, improving competitive human capital. Society benefits from more adaptable professionals with advanced language skills and a greater capacity for problem-solving in uncertain environments. Fostering tolerance. By living with diversity, xenophobia is reduced, and a more empathetic global citizenship committed to democratic values is promoted. Economic development. Mobility encourages technology transfer and boosts innovation in local productive sectors. The most important international university mobility program in Europe is Erasmus+, which has established itself not only as an educational initiative but as the primary engine for integration and cohesion within the European education area. Since its creation, it has transformed the lives of millions, becoming a symbol of identity and international cooperation. The impact on students. For students, Erasmus+ represents a unique opportunity for integral growth, based on three fundamental pillars: academic and professional excellence. It allows access to diverse teaching methodologies and drastically improves employability. Companies value the adaptability, language proficiency, and proactivity acquired by those who have lived this experience. Personal development. Fosters autonomy, resilience, and problem-solving skills in multicultural environments. Civic awareness. By living in another country, students develop a sense of European belonging, breaking down prejudices and strengthening values of tolerance and solidarity. The impact on academic and administrative staff. Staff mobility is a pillar that sustains institutional quality, as it influences and promotes exchange of best practices. Observing other management and teaching systems allows for the importation of innovative solutions to home institutions. Institutional internationalization. Staff participating in Erasmus+ act as bridges for future strategic collaborations and joint research projects. Motivation and updating. Contact with colleagues from other countries prevents professional stagnation and encourages the learning of new languages and digital tools. In an increasingly globalized and interconnected world, the Erasmus+ program is the key tool for building an open knowledge society. It is not simply about traveling, it is about learning to live, work, and progress in a diverse environment, fostering shared values. Erasmus+ mobility is conceived as a fundamental tool for developing global and intercultural competencies in today's educational environment. In Erasmus+, transversal priorities for mobility are inclusion and diversity, an absolute priority in the selection of participants with fewer opportunities. Digital transformation. Recommendation to use Erasmus without paper and promote digital skills. Sustainability. Fostering green travel and environmental awareness. Democratic participation. active engagement in the social and civic life of host communities. International student mobility aims to improve the competencies, employability, and personal maturity of students in higher education, vocational training, and school education. Main modalities: mobility for studies, periods of study at a partner institution abroad. Mobility for traineeships, placements in companies, training centers, or research centers to gain work experience. Blended mobility combines a short physical stay, between 5 and 30 days, with a mandatory virtual component before, during, or after the stay. Duration and financial support. Study mobility generally lasts from 2 to 12 months per study cycle, bachelor's, master's, or PhD. Monthly grants vary according to the cost of living in the destination country. Students receive incentives of €50, single payment, and up to 4 days of additional support for using sustainable means of transport, train, bus, or carpooling, green travel. For study mobility to be recognized by the Erasmus Plus program, the learning agreement must be signed before the mobility begins. Staff mobility aims at teaching and non-teaching staff to foster professional development and international cooperation. Types of activity. Teaching periods allow professors or company personnel to teach at partner institutions. Training periods for professional development activities, such as job shadowing, practical training periods, or structured courses, excluding conferences and language courses. Key requirements and duration. Duration generally from 2 consecutive days to 5 days, with Erasmus Plus funding, and up to a maximum of 2 months. Teaching hours. A minimum of 8 teaching hours per week is required. If the mobility combines teaching and training, the minimum is reduced to 4 hours. Individual support. Financial aid covers living and accommodation expenses via a daily allowance ranging from €140 to €180, depending on the destination. The mobility agreement must be signed before the start of the mobility for institutional recognition. For non-teaching staff, administrative, technical, their mobility is fundamental for institutional efficiency, impacting administrative modernization, learning how other universities manage digital bureaucracy, student support, or data security. Technical networking, facilitating collaboration between departments and student services, improving distance education processes. To begin with, it is important to distinguish between the 3 main types we will be discussing today: physical mobility, virtual mobility, and blended mobility. Together, they form the ecosystem of modern international mobility. Physical mobility is the traditional model. It involves students or staff traveling to a university in a different country to undertake a course, learning activity, or research placement. This model is based on agreements signed between universities for the sending and receiving of participants. The highlight of this type of mobility is total cultural and social immersion, enabling participants to learn a language and attend classes in person. How does this work? Mainly through calls for applications, such as the well-known Erasmus Plus bilateral mobility program. There are also scholarship programs funded by the private sector and university-run programs, funded internally by the vice presidencies for international mobility. Let's now move on to virtual mobility. This process relies on the use of information and communication technologies, ICTs, to provide international learning and training experiences. The great advantage is that it allows students and staff to enjoy the benefits of international mobility without having to physically travel away from their home institution. It can be seen as a complement to physical mobility or as a standalone option. In either case, students always receive academic recognition through ECTS credits. Some practical examples include in-house programs with universities in Europe and Latin America under bilateral or multilateral agreements. External programs such as PIMAVA, Academic Mobility Program with Latin American universities, and COIL, Collaborative Online International Learning model, where joint courses are run between universities in different countries, are also noteworthy. Finally, we have blended mobility. This approach uses innovative teaching methods that combine face-to-face and online activities. Generally, international and interdisciplinary teams work together on a program designed by the participating institutions. Students undertake a short physical stay abroad, 5 to 30 days, as part of a broader virtual and distance learning program. A clear example is the Erasmus Plus Blended Intensive Program, BIP, requires a minimum of 15 participants from universities in at least 3 different countries, and awards a minimum of 5 ECTS credits. Thank you very much for your attention and for your commitment to promoting high-quality digital education. This project has been funded by the European Union, and the views expressed are the sole responsibility of the authors. I remain at your disposal for any questions via my email.